This LeBron versus Stephen A. Smith should never happen. This is a journalist criticizing an athlete. This is a journalist criticizing an athlete's son that's in the NBA. The man's in the NBA. He's not playing CYA basketball. He's not playing in the church league. He's not playing YMCA. He's playing in the NBA. Well, he ain't really playing in the NBA. He's playing in the G League. But he will be a good player one day. I know it. I can see it in him because he got a good head on his shoulder. But this is on you, LeBron. You pushed your son too early. And you know what, brother? Just like when I criticized Doc Rivers for keeping his son in the NBA. It was ridiculous. But you know what I say to Doc Rivers? You know what I say to you, LeBron? I understand. I would have done the same damn thing for my son. But the difference is I would expect criticism, and I would handle it in a professional way. Stephen A. said something about the man's son, but he didn't say anything personal. It was all sports. LeBron let him get into his feelings over some words. And I'm the biggest LeBron fan, and I'm not a big fan of Stephen A. Smith. But to me, LeBron is wrong in this situation on all levels because his son is a professional athlete right now. Not only is he a professional athlete, he seemed like a professional athlete who wasn't ready to be there. Like, I can tell he's going to be good down the road, but he's young. LeBron pushed this narrative that he wanted to play with his son. You could have played with your son next year, but you didn't want to do all that. You want your son in the league, and now people criticizing him. So you need to just relax, brother. And that's that man's job. It's literally his job, giving his opinion on sports. And your son is in the pros. So Stephen A. is supposed to give his opinion on what's going on in the NBA. That's his whole job. It wasn't disrespectful. It wasn't out of line. He just spoke the reality of the expectations. So LeBron should have never confronted him. One, LeBron, let me tell you something, LeBron. You put your son in a bad position, man. You forced him into the NBA. You used your power to get him in the NBA. And I'm one of your biggest fans, brother. And I understand you're a father. Everyone's saying, well, that's what a father do. Okay, I get it from a father's perspective. But you want your son to be his own man. How you think he gonna grow up if you keep protecting him over some damn words? I can see if Stephen A. Smith punched him or something or said something personal. He didn't say anything about the man's personal issue, his medical issues, or anything like that. It was basketball conversation, man. You should have let it go, LeBron. Y'all getting paid all this money, so criticism is part of the game, man. You know, all he had to do, instead of confronting the man, because that could have went bad. How you gonna confront the man in public? LeBron, I'm a big fan of yours, man, but you should have did that in private, man. That should have been a private conversation between you and Stephen A. Private. Not at a game. It's almost like you wanted to make a scene, man. What if that had been a different type of dude, Stephen A.? What if Stephen A. wouldn't look at your big bald head ass and said, man, I'm gonna beat this motherfucker's ass? That's the only reason why Stephen A. Smith was cool, because you twice his size. But if y'all had been the same size, that might have been two brothers on the sideline duking it out. I'm just saying. You know, because emotions get involved when you start talking about people's kids. But he did not say anything beyond the scope of basketball. This wasn't a Skip Bayless situation where Skip Bayless will say something personal, like when he used to criticize Chris Bosh and then call him Spicy Bosh, ruining a man's family name. He criticized him, saying, you pushed this man too early in the game. You did. You need to take responsibility, man. And I don't never take up for Stephen A. Smith. And you put me in a position to take up for this man. Now, y'all know I don't like the media, but look at me right here, having to protect Stephen A. Smith. Okay? And I get it. You there watching your son, you're the father. But many times I've seen this before. Usually I've seen it with mothers. And we get it. Women gonna be more emotional about their kids than a lot of men. But here's the difference, LeBron. You play this damn sport. You've been criticized your whole damn life. But I get it, because you grew up without a daddy. You taking extra steps to make sure you the father that your father wasn't. And this is not criticism, I get it. But you must understand, man, you're supposed to be above all this criticism for you or your son that's in the NBA. Did he criticize your son when he was at USC? No. And if he did, it was because you was pumping your son up, but he didn't criticize him to this degree. Did he criticize your son when he was in high school? No. Is he talking about your little daughter? No. He criticizing a young man that's in the damn NBA, man. He's supposed to be held to a higher standard. He's supposed to understand that as long as it's not personal insults, I understand you under a lot of pressure. I understand your son is under a lot of pressure. We all understand that, man. You guys are up here when it comes to pressure, even your son, because there haven't been many superstar sons that have became superstars in the NBA. So I get you want to push your son in the NBA, but I believe your son was gonna get there because to me, he could be a good player on a great team. He could be like a Derek Fisher, okay? He reminds me of a low-budget Murray that's in Denver. He's not as good as Murray, but that's what he reminds me of sometimes. But he could be a Derek Fisher because he's smart. He could contribute. Now, will he be a superstar? No, but it was you who pushed him before he should have been there. I understand, brother. You was looking out for your son, especially after what happened to him in college with his heart issue. I get it, man. There's a lot of caring there. You care for your son. And I love it, the fact that you have a beautiful family, your wife, all your kids. We believe your next son is gonna be a monster in the game. And you ain't gonna have to push him. He looked like he can make it on his own. But everybody know you pushed Bronny into this position, man. So you have to take this criticism.